Reaction to San Diego State getting their new head coach. It's going to be Sean Lewis. That's according to reports Brett McMurphy, Pete Thamel. There are multiple reporters that are now saying this. And if you don't know who Sean Lewis is, I did not know who Sean Lewis was going into today. I did not know who Sean Lewis was an hour ago. But I have learned since then he was the Colorado offensive coordinator under Deion Sanders, former head coach at Kent State. He has coaching experience. He used to play. So this is an offensive guy. My first takeaway, learning about Sean Lewis, offensive guy, wide open offense, and that's what Aztecs fans wanted. We wanted someone, I think, speaking for the Aztecs fan base, a lot of people, I wanted the best head coach, the right guy for the job. But we wanted better offense. The offense needs to turn around. The offense is what makes it entertaining to watch San Diego State, right? People aren't going to sit there, winning. Yeah, they'll watch. But what's entertaining is the offense. And Sean Lewis, it feels like that's someone that can do that. Now, regardless of who San Diego State was going to hire here, it's wait and see whether it was going to be Tony White from Nebraska or Marion from UNLV or someone else. It was wait and see. What was he going to do? And more importantly for me, like what offense are you going to run? Which players are you going to bring in? What's the quarterback that you're going to bring in? And it seems like here with Sean Lewis from Colorado, it seems like he's going to bring in a quarterback. On Monday, the Buffaloes lost their quarterback commit for the 2024 class. I'm reading from buffzone.com. They cover Colorado football. Danny O'Neill, 3-star prospect from Cathedral High School, decommitted from the Buffs just a few weeks before the December 20th signing day. O'Neill verbally committed to the Buffs on March 21st, picking them over Kentucky, Cincinnati, Houston, Illinois, Louisville, Purdue, Syracuse, West Virginia, and others. In an interview with Buff Zone this fall, O'Neill said he chose Colorado in large part because of his relationship with offensive coordinator Sean Lewis, who is now going to be the Aztecs head coach. Lewis and I just started talking and calling, and now I realize that he's a really good person outside of football, which was something that was huge for me and my family to see. That interview, however, was done before Deion Sanders made the decision to take play calling duties away from Lewis and promote analyst Pat Shurmur into a co-coordinator role with the keys to calling the plays. And that's something that I think is going to be talked about a lot among Aztecs fans, people talking about this hire, Sean Lewis to San Diego State. Why is San Diego State bringing in some guy that got his play calling duty stripped from a 4-8 team? He gets his play calling duty stripped from Deion. Now, Deion, when he was asked about this, he said, we're not going to demean Sean Lewis. We're not going to do that. We're not going to take that tone. Sean is a good man. I think he's a good play caller. We just needed change at the time. We just needed to try something else at the time, and that's what we did. I don't look back on it. I don't second guess myself whatsoever because it's more to it than what you may know. Which, to me, I question, okay, what do you mean? There's more to it than what you may know, talking to the media. And I guess to the public as well, because media extension to the public, right? So what don't we know? Is that a red flag here about Sean Lewis? I'm not going to say it is because I don't know what Deion is referring to there. So it's interesting. You have a couple quarterbacks decommit shortly before news comes out that San Diego State is hiring Sean Lewis as the new head coach. Danny O'Neill, who was one of the commits, decommits. He was speaking highly of Sean Lewis, and that was one of the reasons why he committed to Colorado. So is he going to come with Sean Lewis to San Diego State? If I was J.D. Wicker there talking to these candidates, I am saying, what is your idea for the offense? What quarterback are you bringing with you? Because San Diego State, with Jaden Maiden being a senior, they didn't have another quarterback in waiting. Like, you need to bring someone with you, in my opinion, or you need to go recruit someone to come in and be a good quarterback, someone that's going to draw attention to this program and can help you get back to the top of the Mountain West, because this year was unacceptable. Bottom of the Mountain West, terrible season for San Diego State. And I can appreciate what Brady Hoke did, for this program when he first started and the 12-win season that he had in his second stint as head coach, but it needed to start to turn around. And this guy's young. It feels like this is a situation where He's here for a few years, 4 years, whatever, and then he could go get a Power Five job if San Diego State's not in a Power Five conference by then, because they could. There was news coming out today about San Diego State. They're going to play Washington State, and I believe they're going to play Oregon State next year. And that's just part of the agreement between the Mountain West and the remaining Pac-2 schools, Pac-12, Pac-2. So this hire for me. It's wait and see with Sean Lewis. I feel like this is a jumping off job for him, where he'll come here for a few years. If he has success and he leaves, okay, San Diego State's in a good spot, so I'm fine with that. If they're in a good spot and he leaves, yeah, that'll suck that he leaves, but he's in a good spot. He left the program, I should say, in a good spot. It's not in a great spot right now, but it can be, has the potential to be here, I think, with Sean Lewis. And sure, we might read rave reviews about Sean Lewis, but the big thing, obviously, is what the players are actually going to do on the field. Who's the quarterback going to be? What's this offense going to look like? How many points are you going to score? And talking about the play calling duties being stripped. By the way, when he was calling plays, that was the same Colorado football team, by the way, that started off their season beating TCU, scoring 45 points against TCU, beating Nebraska 36-14, scoring 43 points on Colorado State, winning that game. Sure, they got crushed by Oregon, didn't do anything there, scoring 41 points against USC. And I believe the play calling duties got stripped after a game. They scored 27 points against Arizona State in a win. The play calling duties got stripped. The final game that he had the play calling duties was the Stanford loss in overtime. They scored 43 points still in that Stanford loss, 46-43 in overtime that they lost. And they didn't win a game after that. Lost to UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, and then they lost to Utah to finish off things. So, I mean, the offense was pretty good at times under Sean Lewis, and he has the head coaching experience at Kent State. And I was reading an article in The Athletic about how emotional it was for him when he had to tell the Kent State players that he was going to move to Colorado under Deion and be the OC there. So cares about his players. Obviously, the relationship there with the football recruit, O'Neal, that was a big part in that quarterback's decision to commit to Colorado before decommitting. And I assume that these are connected, him decommitting and Sean Lewis not being with Colorado anymore and being the Aztecs head coach. So we'll see what happens there. This is one of the better jobs that was available. Group of five for sure, if not the best. And it's better than some of the Power Five jobs that are available based on where they're at, where some of those Power Five schools are located, where they're at football-wise in the conference that they're in. So I'm very intrigued by this hiring. Sean Lewis, it was not someone that was mentioned in the San Diego Union Tribune or talked about him being interviewed. This isn't Tony White or anyone like that, but it's an offense guy, which I think is going to make a lot of Aztecs fans happy. And we'll see what happens. I think for me, this is a big wait and see thing, just like any hire would have been. Wait and see. And if this ends up being a hire where he leaves after a few years, like I said earlier, okay, it means that San Diego State was successful. So we'll see. And we'll see what San Diego State's future is, obviously, with the Mountain West and the conference. Is it going to end up taking spots in the remaining what's left of the Pac-12, Pac-2? Are they going to make a new conference there? We'll see what happens. So Sean Lewis could be here for a while or could not. But I think while some fans might want to kind of crap on this hire right now about, they hired a guy who, the Colorado, they're hiring the OC for a team that went 4-8. They're hiring the OC that had play calling duties stripped. I think we should, wait and see a little bit more. And it's not like Colorado did amazingly well when the play calling duties were stripped from Sean Lewis. And Deion has said Sean is a good play caller. So let's just see how it goes. And it's more to this than play calling. It's more to this than offense. You're the head coach. You got to be a leader of men, and you've got to be able to recruit everything. We'll see who are these coaches that he brings in. So it's going to be very interesting. We'll see if there's an improvement on NIL money. I think if you bring in a good quarterback and it's more of an entertaining offense, I think you'll get more support behind you.